If you want to become your own bank, keep watching this. This is how my clients are buying homes every single week, some more than that, through our appreciation strategy. My real estate team has done $1.5 billion in transactions over the past few years. And a lot of them leverage the appreciation arbitrage I'm going to teach you on this quick video. Again, become your own bank. Get as much capital within reason as you want, rather than get loans for it to an actual company. It all takes place by thinking like an investor in long term. Now, before I break down appreciation arbitrage, let me kind of show you what most people do when they're buying real estate. Most people buy real estate will buy a little home. I'll just make this red. Buy a home. And then they hold it for themselves for 30 years with no debt. So the whole goal for them is to have this house for as long as they can, and they don't take out any debt against this property outside the mortgage. Meaning that all the capital and the equity is locked into the house, which is a good strategy for some people. Now, it all comes down to what are your goals. If your goal is to become an investor and have cash flow, wealth, and so forth, then this by itself won't work. This is why I teach my clients appreciation arbitrage. This is how I can leverage my debt to get more capital, as my equity, get more capital at a great rate to buy more properties. So instead, most investors will do this strategy. Some people will do another strategy where they will buy a house that is broken and run down and turn this house into a nice home through flipping. Flipping is another strategy some people do. So before I break down appreciation arbitrage, let me show you all the strategies people do more often than not when it comes to real estate investing. Now, I will say that flipping is not actually investing in itself because it's an active income source. If I'm buying a house to sell a house, I'm then taking my money to make this house better, and then I'm hoping to get a profit of 10, 20, 50, 100 plus $1,000 on the back end. While investing, think of Warren Buffett, their goal is to have this capital work for them for the long term. So I might make $50,000 to $100,000 in profit in this example. So I'm going to say here is plus $50,000 in profit, not actually not actually investing, but it is a way to get more capital. Now, this is the two main ways people do it. I'll even add another way for you too, so in case everyone does. So we have so far people who will buy homes for themselves and never sell it. Keep it for themselves, that's what they live in my neighborhood now, live in now. Most of the people here have been there for 10, 20, 30 years, have no plans of selling it, and will give it off as a will to their relatives and so forth, which could be a headache depending on how it's structured. Other people will buy homes to flip them, and that is another strategy you can do for yourself. Another thing people do quite often is they'll get a house through a process called wholesale. Well, I'm just locking in this house, and I'm going to trade it for another buyer. So a person here plus home, and that's my strategy. I'm going to make a commission per se, not as an agent, but a way to say, hey, I have this house on a contract for $1 million, and it's worth 1.2. I'm going to sell it to you, investor or flipper in this case, more often than not, for 1.1 or 150. So $50,000 more makes the spread difference. This is also not investing. This is an active income source of income. Again, all these are fine. You got to find out what you're trying to do it for, what your main goal is. This is wholesaling. Wholesaling works. People do it all the time. A lot of times it's illegally done because of advertised properties as an agent. which is, that allow if you have a license like I do. Again, my real estate team has done $1.5 billion in transactions over the past few years, and I've seen every strategy out there to do this. This is one strategy. Another thing you can do as well, which is a little bigger process, is syndications. And syndications is normally used for big transactions. Think multifamily. 8 units, 12 units, 16, 100 plus units. Because it's too hard for most people to afford to buy a house this size or a property this size otherwise. And the goal here is to exit in 5 to 10 years, which is still investing. This right here, I'll count investing. Everything else so far is not investing. I'm buying for the long term. Because I'm buying for the long term for 5 to 10 years, it's long enough that my home or my property should double in value more often than not every 10 to 15 years, sometimes 5 to 15, depending on where you're at in the area of America. This strategy is an extra strategy. It's bought for that main purpose. It might have a C class, a B class, sometimes an A class, and I'm hoping for appreciation on the back end to then leverage that debt to sell off for myself, for my clients, and myself to make more money. So far we have these main strategies here. Down below, what strategy do you love the most? Have you done yourself or want to do in the future? And I'm going to show you guys pretty soon how to do appreciation arbitrage. So make sure you guys drop your questions down below as well for me too. Drop some likes, some love, share to your friends who you know trying to get into real estate investing. Again, most of the gurus out there, I'm going to show you all these strategies, tell you the best of the best. And I don't believe that. I believe every strategy is amazing depending on your goal. I do think there's one strategy, which is appreciation arbitrage, which is the best in my mind in terms of it's best for the end user, which is going to be the consumers, investors, and so forth. And then there's another strategy that is new. It's not really, but new is when there's already a house aligned, already a house here with a loan, and my goal is to absorb the house, and the loan will go back to the owner. This is called a sub-2 wrap. The guy who's really popular about this, who's done this, called sub-2s. This is somewhat investing, but not really, because I have no equity inside the properties. Doing the sub-2s, I have the house that I'm taking over, but the loan is still in the name of the past sellers. Meaning, if I want to do appreciation arbitrage, take equity of the property, I can't do that. It is not possible for me to have any equity because the loan is still in their name. This is why it's so good. Mr. Appreciation Arbitrage, like Mary said, is the best strategy. Because this strategy is for long-term thinkers to make true wealth. Because I'm thinking in decades and centuries, then these strategies are short-term. For this one here, for sub-2s, the whole goal is to say, hey, your house is a 3.5% interest rate. I'm going to buy this house at that rate, and I'm going to leverage this difference to get cash flow every single month from the future tenants. Because the difference is so high, it's easy to make more money. This is the plan. And by doing this, this allows me to make more cash flow. But again, there's no equity in play. And most importantly, after 30 years, I can then say, I now own the property, the loan's paid off, and now it's mine. But for the whole time moving forward, it just appreciates, it's just cash flow. And people who are doing appreciation arbitrage, you're going to lose out because they're playing a bigger game. And now here is the last way I'm going to show you guys on real estate investing that ties in really closely to appreciation arbitrage. This way is what most people want to do, but they are told the wrong things. They're not told the actual strategy behind it and the reality behind this method. So for this one, my goal is to have a house and then keep this house as a rental. This is long-term investing. But the problem is two things. One, most people have rentals and they save up 5, 10 years of income to buy another property down the line. So now, after 5 years of savings, I have 2 homes. And then 5 more years go by, I now have 3 homes. But here is also the reality no one's telling you. Each home that I have is going to cash flow you around $100 a month of cash flow. Even if you think after all said and done, the cash flow is $1,000, because say the mortgage is $2K, and then the rent you have is $3K, you made $1,000. In reality, it's not always the case, because you have to pay for taxes still. You have to pay for broken toilets and termites and tenants leaving the house and damages. That's why it's so important to screen your clients, your tenants, really professionally. And for all clients we have working with us, we'll do the whole process, get it done exactly for them, so there's no extra stress on their side. But you see here, in 10 years, I have 3 homes, which is a flawed strategy. And I also only make $100 per door. Now, again, I can still leverage my tax strategies for depreciations on these properties and save $50,000 to $100,000 per year on each home I have, which is one strategy. But only doing one home every 5 years for most people, I only have the opportunity once every 5 years. So here's the next thing that I teach my clients to do, which is appreciation arbitrage, which is, I think, the holy ticket here, making true wealth. My goal is to turn this house into my bank. That is the goal of this. This is now my bank, and now funds all my future transactions. So let's say this is year one. Year one, I have 1 home. Year 2, my 1 home is going to make me 2 homes. I'm going to pull out equity of this house. And to take a step backwards, what equity really is the difference I have in terms of my loan versus what's been paid off already. So let's say my house is worth $1 million. So quick example of equity. My home is worth $1 million, and I paid off $100,000 so far on this house for my down payment and all my tenants paying for the house for me moving forward. I have $100K so far paid off on my home. I can pull out generally 70 to 90% of my equity using a HELOC. It's a home line of credit, and it's not taxable because it's debt. This is amazing. That means if I want to buy a house that's $500,000, or let's say $400,000, and I need 20% down for that house, which is $80,000 instead. Thank you, Mel. I think this is really powerful to understand how this works in live time. I can now pull out 80K of my loan, or my equity I have. So I have 80K pulled out over here, and now my new equity. Let's make it a little bigger for you guys. I can barely see on my side. 80K I have pulled out now to buy my 7th home up here. So this 80K is going to give me a new home. And what people forget about is that I'm not losing $80,000. I'm transferring that 80K from my current home, number 1, to home number 2. So I still have the 80K and a new loan as well that's not taxable. This allows me to have more opportunities to go quicker. That makes sense, guys? Drop some likes down below. Hit that share button if that makes sense to you. This is how equity works. This is why this is a powerful strategy called appreciation arbitrage. I'm arbitraging my equity by more houses quicker than people can do by themselves. I make pretty good income, and if I only use my active income by properties, and someone's doing the appreciation arbitrage on top of active income, they will buy more homes than me every single time. I'm not doing a fast enough scale system. You cannot beat appreciation. Ask Warren Buffett. He is one of the richest men to ever lived, and most of his capital that he got in happened in the past 10 years due to one strategy. His appreciation compounds. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. So let's go back to this example, though, on why this strategy is so game-changing for people trying to invest in real estate. If I have one home in year one, year two, I have two homes now. Now, year three, I will then go from two homes to 4 homes. Because now I have the same properties doing the same strategy between my bank. I can now pull out equity on both these homes to buy 4 more homes instead. Smaller properties. If I have 200K equity, the 1K we had the 80K already is transferred over there. That one already has there. And normally here in Austin, Texas, you should see around a 7 to 15% appreciation rate. So if my home is normally worth, let's say $1 million, and a year from now at 10%, I just made $100,000 in appreciation, not including my tenants paying for it down as well. So I must be higher than $100,000 thanks to my tenants as well paying for it too. So buying 4 properties is really easy. You understand that strategy. And again, if I have one rental, I'm gonna make $100 per door. That's not a lot of money. My goal and the goal of my clients and investors is not cash flow. Cash flow is king after 10, 20 years. Before that, it's just a cherry on top. The real king in this scenario is the equity, because all that is tax-free. If I pull out equity as my salary to manage these properties, I can make a really good living and buy more properties as well. That makes sure you don't use it incorrectly. Don't buy Gucci bags, Lamborghinis, all these things. Make sure you invest this money back into the business itself, buy more properties. And then year 4 happens. Now, this is when it gets really fun. You have a couple options here. You can either buy 8 single-family homes, or instead, you can buy one big multi-family property instead. That's 8 units or bigger. This allows me to start branching in to different classes of real estate investing. If I have a unit of 16 units here in Austin, Texas, my appreciation is going to be around the same, but it's a much bigger place you need to manage as well. And while you're doing this, you think to yourself, wow, I cannot manage 4 properties. I cannot do that kind of strategy. You're right. You probably can't by yourself. Most people cannot as well. So the goal is to hire a property manager to do this for you. You make less money, but in the long-term wise, your equity pays for everything, so you can go even quicker. So now I'm from 4 places to 8 places, or to one big one as well. So I have 4 homes plus a big commercial property as well. Year 5 happens. In year 5, I'm going to say I either have 16 homes or I have 4 homes plus 2 multifamily homes. And this is when scaling starts to happen super quickly. You become a millionaire not just on what you own and control, but in equity as well. But again, if I have a 10% appreciation every single year, this home went from $1 million to 1.1. And then this one is 1.2. What's a little higher on that? But for easy math, I won't do the whole breakdown of that. And then at 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. And by year 10, that home had doubled in value. And all that is equity. And even though I'm still pulling out equity to buy more properties, this equity is just transferring over to new properties. Does this make sense? Do hashtag equity if that makes sense. Hashtag equity if that makes sense down below. So hashtag equity side really works a lot of time. I'm going to transfer my equity to a new unit known as appreciation arbitrage, similar to a Brewer method and so forth. This is why this is such a powerful strategy. If I'm doing flips, if I'm doing wholesaling, if I'm doing sub 2, I will lose out compared to someone doing appreciation arbitrage. So what they're doing is happening so fast and so fast, you can't beat them. People like Grant Cardone and all these big investors, they were so wealthy with hundreds of millions of real estate because of this strategy. Doing investing. My friend and mentor taught me this. He will become a billionaire probably in a couple years from now. And as an agent, I probably shouldn't say this, but I want you to become super successful. This is why the Elite Edge podcast, where we do these kind of trainings for you at free of charge. I've been through all the guru trainings. I spent over $60,000 last year alone, testing $80K last year alone, and hundreds of thousands of dollars on mentorship and programs, and no one teaches this because it's not good for them. My mentor said, Holmes, I have a house, are not meant for selling. That is how you commit real estate. If you have diamond hand, hold it long enough, you will never lose money in real estate. Let that sink in. Write that down. If I hold real estate for long enough, you will never lose money in real estate. And if you have to sell because you're moving or something happening in your family or you're expanding, that makes sense because there are times you need to sell. But if you can help it, you can lease out instead, you should do that. You can put equity to buy another house instead while you move. Now, for most of my clients, again, we did $1.5 billion in transactions over the past few years because we teach our clients how to do this. I mean, my clients, I work with more than once. Today, they'll find a walkthrough and have them close tomorrow with my clients for a third deal with us. For a third deal. And because of her new strategy, next year she'll buy 2 homes. The following year she'll buy 4 homes by leveraging the equity she already has. This makes sense to sound good. If you want to have a full breakdown for yourself, how to use it as well, and see leverage appreciation arbitrage, we already have currently for your own houses. Down below, do hashtag appreciation. I'll help you for free with the whole strategy and walk you through how this works for you and your situation to buy more properties. Again, you will be playing the long-term game, not short-term game. House flipping, wholesaling, sub-twos, those are all fun strategy you can do if you want to. But at the end of the day, you want to have true wealth, think long-term. How can you hold property so long as you possibly can? And with the point where the cash flow means nothing to you, is this bonus on top of that. The main goal of this whole strategy is equity. We're playing equity games. Because there's no one truly successful who did so with just cash flow by itself. Or just flipping by itself. There are people who are flippers who do a high level skill, which is a business, but I wouldn't call it investing. So different strategies though. Again, businesses are the best way as well, make a lot of money to buy more properties. But it's a whole other topic for another time. But again, you want help for yourself, totally for free, a free consultation. Down below, do a hashtag appreciation or send me a direct DM. I'll help you do a whole strategy for your appreciation you have currently to buy more properties or teach you the steps to move forward, start buying homes as well with this strategy, making true wealth. Again, you can become a millionaire with this strategy in 3 to 7 years. Hands down, 3 to 7 years, being a millionaire, meaning that you have $1 million of accessible funds to your equity. That is a much quicker path than most people will teach you. Now, I'm not going to say it happen in a year because it won't happen in a year. Real estate investing is a long-term game. And the gurus are telling you it happen in a week, or in a month, or in a year. Unfortunately, they're selling you a dream, and that's not my goal here. I'm going to sell you the actual reality of what's happening in real life, how to level for yourself, how to have true wealth for yourself and for your family. This is why we do all these strategies for you guys moving forward. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in to Elite Edge Podcast, where top players go become world class. Make sure you smash that like button, tag your friends, share this video. Who do you know that would love this strategy of appreciation arbitrage to build true wealth by having an opportunity to have freedom too? Again, cash flow at a certain point, 10, 15 years from now, will be so high that you can stop working if you wanted to and live off of the cash flow and still leveraging your equity. Don't quit your job now. Don't quit your job in a year after 2-3 properties. Wait. Make something super big and impactful that will actually feed your whole family for generations to come and make a massive impact for you and your life. Thanks so much. For the best of yet. I'll see y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Drop some likes, tag your friends. We'll see you on the next one.